will discuss some questions regarding international business transactions, dispute settlement. And the first question is, explain the significance of negotiation as the initial step in resolving disputes in international commercial transactions. And since negotiation can help parties communicate, establish rapport, and look into mutually agreeable solutions, it is often the first stage in settling conflicts in international business transactions. Parties can correct misconceptions, make expectation clear, and look for common ground through negotiation to settle conflicts quickly and amicably. In the context of international business, negotiation helps parties avoid formal processes and preserve commercial connections, confidentiality, and influence over the dispute's outcome. This minimizes cost, delays, and reputational risk. Two companies, Company A and Company B, are involved in an international commercial transaction to purchase and sell electronic components. During the negotiation process, Company A requests a lower price due to market fluctuations, while Company B emphasizes the quality and timely delivery of the components. Through negotiation, the companies discuss pricing, delivery terms, quality standards, and payment terms to reach a mutually agreeable agreement that balances cost consideration and product quality. Second question, what are the advantages and disadvantages of mediation as an alternative dispute resolution method in international commercial disputes? Mediation has so many advantages as an alternative dispute resolution method in international commercial disputes, including confidentiality, flexibility, and the opportunity for parties to actively participate in the resolution process. Mediation can help maintain business relationships, preserve goodwill, and achieve creative solutions tailored to the parties' needs and interests. However, the disadvantages of mediation may include the potential for unequal power dynamics, challenges in enforcing mediated agreement across borders, and the reliance on the willingness of parties to engage in good faith. Additionally, mediation may not be suitable for disputes requiring legal precedent or urgent solutions. For example, Company X from Philippines and Company Y from China encounter a contractual dispute related to delayed delivery of goods. Opting for mediation, the companies engage a neutral mediator to facilitate discussions and explore solutions. The advantages of mediation include confidentiality, flexibility in finding a resolution, and the opportunity to preserve the business relationship. However, challenges may arise if one party is unwilling to cooperate or if the mediated agreement is not enforceable across borders. And question number 3. What is the relationship between substantive and procedural law in arbitration proceedings? The choice of substantive law and procedural law in arbitration proceedings is closely intertwined. They are related to each other, as the substantive law governs the rights and obligations of the parties, while the procedural law dictates the rules and processes for conducting the arbitration. The relationship between the two lies in ensuring a harmonious and efficient arbitration process by aligning the applicable substantive law with the procedural rules of the chosen arbitration institution or jurisdiction. Consistency between the substantive and procedural aspects of arbitration helps promote fairness, predictability, and enforceability of arbitral awards in international commercial disputes. For example, in an international arbitration case between companies the rules of the International Chamber of Commerce or ICC. The substantive law governing the contract is based on the laws of the country where the contract was signed, while the procedural law follows the ICC arbitration rules. Aligning the substantive rights and obligations with the procedural rules ensures a coherent and effective arbitration process that upholds legal principles and procedural fairness. The role of national courts in supporting and supervising arbitral proceedings. How does the choice of venue affect the extent of court intervention in arbitration? National courts play a critical role in supporting and supervising arbitral proceedings by assisting in matters such as enforcement of awards and challenges to arbitrators' jurisdiction. The extent of court intervention in arbitration is influenced by the choice of venue, as different jurisdiction has varying levels of judicial involvement in arbitral proceedings. Parties must consider the implications of the chosen venue on the level of court intervention and the enforceability of arbitral awards. Like for example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi engage in international arbitration to resolve a commercial dispute related to non-payment. The National Court in the seat of arbitration provides assistance in appointing arbitrators, granting interim measures, and enforcing arbitral awards. The choice of arbitration venue influences the extent of court intervention, with some jurisdictions offering minimal interference in arbitral proceedings, while others may have a more active role in supervising and supporting the arbitration process. Number 5. Discuss the importance of risk assessment in international trade transactions. How does risk assessment influence the negotiation process in between sellers and buyers in international trade? Risk assessment is very important in the international trade transaction, as it enables sellers and buyers to identify, evaluate, and mitigate potential risks that may impact the successful completion of the transaction. By conducting a comprehensive risk assessment, parties can anticipate and address factors such as political instability, currency fluctuations, transportation delays, and non-payment risks, thereby enhancing decision-making, reducing uncertainties, and safeguarding their interest in international trade. Risk assessment influences the negotiation process between sellers and buyers by informing contract terms like pricing, Incoterms, and risk allocation mechanisms to ensure a mutually beneficial and secure transactions. Like for this example, Zoreca Company is a manufacturer that exports machinery to Apple in a foreign market. Before finalizing the contract, Apple conducts a risk assessment to identify potential risks such as political instability, currency exchange fluctuations, and transportation delays. By assessing and mitigating these risks, Zoreca Company can negotiate contract terms, pricing, and Incoterms with Apple Company to ensure a smooth and secure transactions. Question number 6. Explain the role of International Chamber of Commerce, or known as ICC, in mitigating trade risks. The International Chamber of Commerce, or ICC, plays a significant role in mitigating trade risks by providing internationally recognized rules, guidelines, and dispute resolution services that facilitate smooth and secure international business transactions. Through its expertise in trade finance, arbitration, and commercial practices, the ICC offers valuable resources and tools to support parties in managing risk, resolving disputes, and ensuring compliance with global trade standards. By promoting best practices, standardizing trade procedures, and offering a platform for cooperation and dispute resolution, the ICC contributes to enhance transparency, efficiency, and trust in international trade. Let's delve into this scenario. Like for example, a company based here in the Philippines is looking to export its products to the United States. To mitigate trade risks such as non-payment or delivery issues, the company decides to use ICC's standardized international trade rules such as Incoterms rules to clearly define the responsibilities of both the buyer and the seller in the transaction. By adhering to ICC guidelines, the company can reduce uncertainties and disputes in the international trade process. And for question number 7, what are the different forms of trade risk and their implications for international business? Different forms of trade risk such as political risk, economic risk, legal risk, operational risk, market risk have significant implications for international business by impacting the profitability, stability, and sustainability of commercial transactions. Political risks such as changes in government policies or regulations can disrupt trade flows and investment, while economic risks, including currency fluctuations or inflation, may affect pricing and financial performance. Legal risks such as contract disputes or non-compliance with trade regulations can lead to legal liabilities and reputational damage. And for operational risks such as supply chain disruption or cybersecurity threats can impact operational efficiency and business continuity. Market risks such as changes in demand or competition can also affect market positioning and profitability in international business ventures. Like for example, a multinational corporation operating in various countries faces trade risks such as currency fluctuations, political instability, and supply chains disruption. These risks can have significant implications for the company's international business operations, leading to financial losses, delays in deliveries, and damage to reputation. By identifying and understanding these trade risks, the company can develop strategies to manage and mitigate them effectively. For question number 8, evaluate the impact of e-commerce on traditional payment methods in international trade. E-commerce had an impact on traditional methods of payment in international trade by introducing new payments mechanisms such as online payments, payment platforms, digital currencies, and electronic fund transfers that offer convenience, speed, and security in cross-border transactions. E-commerce has revolutionized payment systems by enabling real-time transactions, reducing transaction costs, and expanding access to global markets for business of all sizes. However, the adoption of e-commerce international trade also poses challenges related to cybersecurity, data privacy, regulatory compliance, and the need for interoperability between different payment systems and currencies. Like for example, a small business in India that traditionally relied on letters of credit for international transactions decide to transition to e-commerce platform from letters of credit to e-commerce platform for selling its product globally. By accepting online payments through secure channels, the business can streamline its payment processes, reduce transaction costs, and reach a wider customer base. in complex or high-value international transactions. Understanding the legal requirements, documentation procedures, and operational aspects of letters of credit is essential for parties engaging in international trade to effectively utilize this payment mechanism. Like for example, a company in Germany enters into a trade agreement with a supplier in China, where the payment terms involve the use of letters of credit. In this scenario, the legal implications of letters of credit ensures that the payment is secure and guaranteed by the financial institution, providing assurance to both parties involved. However, the practical implications, such as the administrative requirements and fees associated with letters of credit, need to be carefully considered to ensure smooth trade transactions. And lastly, for question number 10, evaluate the security and practicality of cash in advance as a method of payment in international trade. Cash in advance as a method of payment in international trade offers security and practicality for sellers by ensuring upfront payment before shipment of goods, reducing credit and payment risks associated with cross-border transactions. However, the security and practicality of cash in advance must be balanced with considerations such as buyer trust, cash flow implication, and potential competitive disadvantages such as increased costs, longer payment cycles, and limited flexibility for buyers. While cash in advance provides certainty of payment and minimizes collection risk for sellers, it may pose challenges in terms of buyers, financing, competitive pricing, and customer relationship in international trade scenarios. Like for example, a manufacturer in Brazil receives an order from a new customer in Australia who requests payment in advance before the goods are shipped. While cash in advance offers security to the seller by ensuring upfront payment, it may pose practical challenges for the buyer, such as risk of non-delivery or dissatisfaction with the goods received. Evaluating